Hey guys, today is Tuesday and I'm about to start a seller call after extremely successful success reflex, not a sex reflex, which totally different program. Went for a run. I looked at my videos and I realized how overweight I look and feel. So I'm going to do something about it and go for a run every day, a little bit more than I normally do, and be a little bit more active. Going to get rid of 30 pounds. Going to do my best to do that by eating less, moving more, and making that happen. But speaking of making things happen, we're going to talk today about how to get paid to do deals. Now, excuse me, that doesn't sound very likely, and it sounds kind of scamish. But if you have the right pieces in play, you actually can get paid to do deals. You can actually leave the closing with cash in your pocket. One of the deals that we're going to talk about is Harry's deal that he picked up at Success Reflex. It has not closed yet, full disclaimer. We communicated with the seller. We have the numbers basically put together, and we have an agreement verbally, and LOI has been sent, basically a letter of intent that should come back signed hopefully tomorrow, making this an opportunity for us to actually pull out $100,000 at closing, since there's financing that's already in place to refinance, which if you listen to the seller call, you'll be able to understand. And then Vicky's deal, which is a taking over the debt deal, subject to deal, taking over the debt, leaving the debt in place, giving the seller money to walk. We're giving the seller $3,000 to walk, and on the lease option deposit, we can get $10,000 to $20,000. So if we get only 10, Vic will be in the position of getting $7,000 at closing from the lease option buyer, giving $3,000 to the seller. So basically making $7,000 on the transaction. These are the kind of deals that I like, and if you know what you're doing, if you get educated on how to do this, you can actually get paid to do deals. It's not a scam. There's no smoke and mirrors. It's basically just numbers. And if you know what to do and know how to do it, you can do very well in this business. So that's why people come to me for the education. Learn to do it, and you will be able to make a lot of money in real estate if you apply the information, of course, because just learning it, not doing anything is just terrible. So anyway, so here's a seller call, great call, enjoy it, and do what you can to learn what needs to be done so you can start getting the results that you're looking for in your life. And without action, nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to lose 30 pounds by just wanting to lose 30 pounds. I actually have to do something about it. So today I start my journey, and I'm not going to stop until I lose 30 pounds. And that's how you should look at real estate. I want to make $100,000 a year in passive income. I want to make $200,000 a year passive income. I want to make $1 million a year passive income. You don't quit until that happens. You do whatever it takes to find the right people that can help you get there, no matter what the cost is. And that's it. I'm going to have a personal trainer. No matter what it costs, I'm going to lose 30 pounds, period. That's how it's going to happen. I want the same results for you in your personal life, your financial life, and and whatever else you want. All right? Enjoy the seller call. It's a really good one. You'll love it.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Seller Call, where we get to talk to sellers and see how to negotiate deals that have been negotiated by yours truly or students that have attended any of my programs, including Success Reflex, which we just finished over the weekend, which was a lot of fun. I got all kinds of deals. The final tally isn't there, but I think we definitely crested probably over $5 million, $3 to $5 million in deals for sure over that very short period of time. So we won't know what the final tally is on actual contracts and closed deals for a little while. Harry today just got one, which I'm going to play, which is a pretty sweet deal. It's worth we're buying that one at a considerable discount, which was incubated at Success Reflex as well. So I know Graham and his son Liam crushed it. The Tse family crushed it. Everyone basically crushed it. Vicky crushed it. Everyone's been crushing it. So I'm really pleased for those that attended. So Graham, nice to see you. I know you're still in Orlando. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys tomorrow. Lunch, it'll be fun. Maryse, hello. I'm glad that you enjoyed Success Reflex, Graham. I hope it was all good for you. and all the people that did attend. For those of you that don't know what that is I basically lock you in a room and you can't leave until I say so. And it's quite long days with the homework. It's probably 17 to 18-hour days over 3 days, but it's definitely worth it. You see the result. So I'm pretty excited for those of you who have the opportunity to come. So Baljeet, nice to see you. Angie, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the next Success Reflex. And Reggie, I hope you had a good time. Reggie got a whole bunch of deals. Good for him. Really proud of him. He's really improved. And I don't even recognize Reggie. Super, super good job. David as well. He crushed it from Texas. The first, may I dare say, first American student that I have coming to this. And man, he's I don't know how many deals he got, but he's crushing it as well. Wendy, good to see you. Vicky, good to see you. Valray, nice to see you. Todd, Shams, Seb, Sam, Roger, Rodrigo, Reggie, Raymond, nice to see you as well. Raymond Jackson. Ralph, good to see you. Peter, nice to see you as well. Mo, Maz, excited to see your success as well. He's cooking on a huge deal. Frank and Linda, always a pleasure. They just, I think they just got a deal from the Success Reflex that they attended not too long ago. Sorry, I forgot to put my screen on. But man, Kim, everyone's here. The gang's all here. So we got quite a few people here. So, man, I have a ton of calls that I could play over the weekend, and I'm still sifting and sorting through them. Those of you that attended Success Reflex will be sending me calls as well to do some critiquing on. What I'm going to do is actually do a deal that I called on today, only because it was the first one in my list, and it's a product of Success Reflex. But this is from some of the exercises that I had asked to have done. This is a broker that turned into an owner that actually turns into another deal as well, which is a big sort of something that I've honed into those that attended, that it's not just about the deal that's in front of you, but it's the deal behind the other deal that's extremely important. Creating relationships with the people that you're dealing with, either as wholesalers or either as agents or whatever that is. It's important to create relationships so you can build on the deals that are behind the deal, because that's extremely important. So let's get cooking on Harry's 51 units, which also has a 58 unit behind it. So in one email and in one conversation, there's 100 units here, which is fairly exciting. So let's listen in. Let me start from the beginning. And Harry back and forth about a property for sale. Let me actually go to the beginning. There we go. Fill me in, please. It's Marco. You've been just emailing myself and Harry back and forth about a property for sale. 51. Yeah, how you doing? Good, man. How you doing? Pretty good. Good. Is this a good time or a bad time? Good time. What's up? Just wanted to get a little bit more information on that. Yes, just to call you. So we are. Yeah. There's a number keeps getting put out. The 767,000 or 676,000. I'm just wondering where that. All right. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the process, we basically found an opportunity. We made a fairly low offer, and we're waiting for them to see what they're going to say. Basically, he said, call me over a couple of emails back and forth, and that's what we're at right now. We just calculated numbers based on income. We use a private equity fund to buy these things, so we're just using a number that we know we can close cash with in a very short period of time. What constitutes a short period of time? Less than 30 days. We have about 20 days of due diligence, and within our due diligence period, then we can close like within 3 or 4 days if title's done. So we usually do it within 30 days. Got it. What's the part of your due diligence, or what boxes do you have to check? Make sure that the property is not in terrible shape. If it is, it is what it is. Right. Financials, make sure they're in order. And that's about it. So inspection of property, inspection of financials. No appraisals or anything? Nope. Hey, let me send you. Can I send an email to? Let's see here. Okay, I don't know. All right. So this is an agent. I remind you, or we think it's an agent, and he's asking how fast can we close. we give them the story, and now it's going to get interesting.
We had an appraisal done about, I can't remember, I think it was the end of 2015. We'll send you that. That'll probably give you a good head start on everything. Okay, what's the email?
The one that you've been using, Harry. What's the best email for you?
HarryBR76@gmail.com. You should jump up there. Harry BR. HARRYBR. Okay, that's 76. Alright, I'm sending the appraisal now. I don't think we can get to that number, but I think if you guys are flexible, we can probably get to a number.
Well, let's start from somewhere and see where it lands. Do you want us to do an LOI? Do you know what numbers have been rejected or?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do now is so we made a low offer, and I've said this 1,000 times, and some of you still don't get it. No offense, but the point of making an offer is to get rejected, not to get accepted. And a lot of you are making offers, it gets rejected, and you go, this shit don't work. It's all a scam. The whole point of making an offer is to get rejected. If you make an offer that's accepted, you offer too much. That's the bottom line. You have to make an offer that's low enough that you can start playing the game. The game starts when you hear the word no, not when you hear the word yes. If you start making offers and they get accepted, well, shit, that's easy. I'll just offer everyone more than they ask. I'll get everything accepted. The key is to make low offers that get it rejected so we can get some extremely good, unusually high returns. And the key to make money in real estate is by buying it at the right price. And you can never buy it at the right price if you're offering too much. That's obvious. It's just common sense. So what I'm trying to fish for right now, because this property is worth well over $1 million. The value, I believe, is $1.2 million on this property. It's 51 units. I believe that I can do a quick calculation here. So these are rough estimates, so please forgive me. It's 500 times 51, which is $25,000 a month times 0.6 times 12. So you're looking. I believe the NOI is in the $130,000 range. So their expenses might be a little bit higher. So it's worth around 1.3, and we offered like 600,000. So it's a very, very low offer, a third of the value. And the guy didn't yell at us. He basically just said, "Call me," and that's the situation that we're in. So, and that's what that is. Yeah. Okay.
Because we just brought this price down substantially from where it was. Would you guys be interested in anything else, or you just look at this?
No, we'll buy anything that makes a decent return. So I hate it when an agent says, "Hey, do you want anything else, or you just want this guy?" That's a terrible thing to get from a real estate agent. So when you get that, they automatically know that we've built trust. He has a belief that we can close. And I haven't really showed off. I haven't said how many properties I own or anything else. It's all in your intro and your opener, and building that trust triangle, which those of you that attend a Success Reflex know what I'm talking about. When you are build enough trust at the very beginning of the conversation and start getting what their motivation is, having value questions, and really understanding what their price needs to be in order for you to move forward, you can really start making some damage and getting a ton of properties that are tied to that one.
Yeah, I've got another one that's 58 units, about 45 minutes away from this one.
Oh, that would be terrible.
That I've just had for just under a year now. I wouldn't want to let go of it before my year lapses. However, it should be full by that time. We had one burned out unit, everything else is occupied, but they're repairing the burned out unit now. that was prior to our ownership, and we would be interested in selling that one too sometime after April. But yeah, we want the Lambert first. Yeah.
So is this guy the seller or is this guy an agent? Which one do you think it is? Because he's representing himself as an agent on the site that we found this on. What do you guys think? Do you think this is an agent or do you think this is an actual seller? Which one do you think it is? Cyril says owner, seller is correct. This is the actual owner, guys. It sounds like the seller because it is a seller. He smells like a seller. He talks like a seller. He walks like a sailor. Golly gee willikers, I think he is a sailor.
I think a quick deal, $850,000 would probably get it done. That'd be now that the CapEx is all completed in terms of all the roofs and probably 85% of the HVACs. Was the only really deferred maintenance on the buildings is there was some just rotted eaves and fascia and board from when the roofs were replaced that they're going back and painting building by building, just on-site maintenance is. That's really one of the last things we were going to fool with over there for a little while. We've had that one since 2013, and it's done really well. We've got one of the parts.
So basically, he's totally renovated the property from soup to nuts, and that's pretty damn good.
Is asked to exit, which is why we put it up for sale.
Gotcha. Is there any debt on this right now?
No, it's just internal debt.
Gotcha. Just the partners wanting to cash out.
Yeah, right.
If we could do something closer to 8, I think we might be able to make it work.
Are you guys anybody taking we have a commission too?
Nope. 0 commission. It's just
private. We probably let 800,000 do it.
All right. We'll send out an LOI for 8. Yeah, I was correct. I'm just talking to Harry right now, who's on his way home. It's 123,000 is what the NOI is on this deal, and divide that by 800,000. It is a 15.375 cap, which is good enough for us, which is just fine. Thank you very much. It's totally full, totally renovated, ready to go in a populated area. Let's see what we can get for money on this. So it's worth 1.2 million. Now listen to what he's going to say in a minute. And we got it for 800,000. Understand that we have that for 800,000. Let's take it from there. So just remember, it's worth 1.2 million. We have it for 800,000. All right. So if we look at what 1.2 times 0.7 for. All right, we can get 840,000 in financing for this. So we're below our financing. We're below our financing requirement. So we have it for basically 800,000. We can get 840,000 financed, which is kind of nice. 70% of the value. But listen carefully to what he's about to say. From there, if we can make it happen, we'll close pretty quick.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. I'll send that over to you shortly. Thanks.
Yeah, and any due diligence information you need,
All right, so again, we're at 5 minutes into the call, and I'm basically hang up the call, say, fine, I'll send you an LOI, boom, we're good to go. And by the way, is my LOI going to say 800,000 on it, or is it going to be shy of 800,000? We've agreed on 800,000, but I'm going to see if I can push my luck and do something like 790. Say, hey, we calculated some stuff, and I know I said, I know we said 800, but this is pretty much what we can do, and here's the terms that we're going to have. So I'm going to try to squeeze this up to a 16 cap if I can. There's no way that I'm just because I say 800,000 on the phone. There's always the deal after the deal. Can I always go back up to 800,000? Absolutely. Because if I do an LOI of 800,000, guess what? We're going to go back up to we'll be over 800 for sure. He'll counter that, and then we'll be in a pickle. So we're definitely going to offer less than 800,000, like 780 maybe, or 786 or some number like that. And then we're good to go. So it's pretty exciting.
Because that's our deal, we should be able to provide as much as you'll need
Yeah.
We looked at refinancing, or not refinancing, but financing our cash out of this thing. Back when that appraisal was done, there was some non-recourse HUD financing that was the route we were heading. And they had just some god-awful prepayment penalties that were attached to those things. And not knowing what the next guy in the totem pole was going to want to do, we just elected not to move forward with it. But that.
Okay. So what he's saying now is, forgive the expression, but it's giving me a hard on. I'm super excited with what he's saying right now, because he already has this property approved for non-recourse, meaning you don't have to personally guarantee, HUD financing, which is government approved financing. It's backed by the government, and these interest rates are like prime +1. So these are extremely good loans at this property, and it's not him that qualifies, it's the property. Okay. The property, but the problem is there's got this prepayment penalty, meaning that the property is locked in for 10 years. So these are government-backed loans. So how this works is you have some sort of fund that buys these properties. They tie them into HUD, and this fund wants it to perform for 10 years, and you can't get out of it for 10 years. If you do get out of it, you have a huge penalty, because they've promised their sort of the fund that has to perform at this interest rate for X amount of years. And if it doesn't, then it screws up their numbers or their promised return. So they have this huge fine if you break it, to make sure that they still get their interest rates and more, meaning that they're protected. So these sort of loans are extremely good to have, and not every property can qualify for it. So I'm pretty excited by it. So I'm going to do a quick rewind so you guys understand that what he's saying right now, and then listen to what I'm saying so you understand exactly why I'm so excited about this deal.
The penalties that were attached to those things, and not refinancing, but financing our cash out of this thing. Back when that appraisal was done, there was some non-recourse HUD financing that was the route we were heading. And they had just some god-awful prepayment penalties that were attached to those things. And not knowing what the next guy in the totem pole was going to want to do, we just elected not to move forward with it. But that's why the appraisal was done. I think a phase 1 maybe even was done. And so all that stuff checked out fine. I mean, they issued a final commitment letter, and we just elected not to after the prepayment penalty terms were included in that.
Well, all right, so he's trying to sell the property. He doesn't like the prepayment penalty. He's in a position where he wants to sell the property. He doesn't want to, be tied to it for the next 10 years because he has other partners. So from a partner perspective, to get a refinance done, terrible idea, because he has these prepayment penalties. For us to step in to buy the property at under $800,000, for us to cash them out, for us to be able to go into something else, extremely good plan, because it's a low interest rate for at least 10 years, which means we have income coming in for the next 10 years. And Harry, who's the diamond student attached to this, is the diamond student attached to this, is basically wanting that income for the next 10 years. That's $123,000 in income, and you're probably looking at a 5.5% interest rate. So it's I'll share with you what the approved amount is already. All right, what the approved is already, and then we'll take it from there. Our model is basically buy it, stabilize it, and then refinance it, and then move on to the next one.
They were giving us about just under $900,000, as I recall.
Okay.
And that was non-recourse. But
all right. Did you hear what he just said? I just want to make sure that you guys heard what you just what heard. How much money do we have available to do an immediate refinance on this property right now that they've already been approved for, that they are not going to take, which is, you tell me. Peter, is 900,000 is correct. Guys, this is an interactive session here, so if you guys actually type in, you'll be interacting, and I'll know that you're alive. All right, Cyril is alive, Peter's alive, Wendy's alive, Harry's alive, Kim's alive. All right, you guys are alive. Fantastic. So listen to this, all right? So we're looking at about a 5% interest rate because these are freaking amazing loans. Non-recourse. Now, for those of you that don't know what non-recourse means in English, it means there's no personal guarantees. You don't have to sign for it. It's totally based on the loan itself. Totally based on the property. Has nothing to do with you. All right. Linda could go in. Greta, you're all in. Graham, you're in. Hi, you're in. Valerie, you're in. Jim, it's all yours. Angie, yours. Helmet, no problem. Even Eric, no problem. All right. You basically have access to this financing because the financing is based on the property, not based on how you look like, how you smell like, what what your religion is. It's irrelevant. It's only based on the deal. So just under 900,000. So let's assume that they did 900,000 just for the calculation of interest. 900,000, and these are 30-year loans. So I'm going to go into an amortization schedule. Amortization schedule. Calculator. All right. So if the loan amount is going to be 900,000, long term is 30 years at 5%. Actually, let's do 5.25%, which is possible. All right, and whatever the zip code doesn't matter. All right, you're looking at a monthly payment of $4,970, which is what I'm looking for. 4,970. 4,970 times 12. All right, so you're paying $59,640 a year in interest. All right, there's a reason I'm sharing this for you. That's $59,640 in monthly payment, and so let's call it 60 grand. You're making 123,000 minus 60 grand. All right, which is 63,000. So you're left with $63,000 a year after payments to the mortgage. Does everyone understand this? All right, this is just so the net is already been calculated. Now we have a new expense, which is your principal and interest payment, leaving you $63,000 because $60,000 is going to interest and payments to the bank. Does everyone understand this? Please say yes if you understand this, or yep, or okay, or give me a sign of life if you guys get this. All right? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. If you don't get it, I'll explain it again really slowly. All right? So the net is $123,000 a year. You have to pay $60,000 in mortgages for $900,000. But wait a second. That's a refinance. We're buying it for how much? Are we buying it for $900,000 or $800,000? I don't know if anyone missed it. What am I buying this for? What is Harry buying this for? $800,000. So if we have a refinance already approved for $900,000, but we bought this for $800,000, what does that mean? Please explain to me what it means if we have $900,000 that we can get in financing and we buy this for less than $800,000. Please tell me what it means. Yes, Peter, we're making $100K at closing. We have $100,000 in our pocket. And is that taxable or non-taxable? That is correct. It's $100,000 to buy the freaking property, and you make $63,000 a year for the next 30 years. Jolly golly gee willikers, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. I don't know about you, but it's non-taxable because it's borrowed money. Borrowed money is non-taxable in the U.S. and in Canada, no matter where you are. This is $100,000 out of his pocket. So let me think. He went to Success Reflex. He busted his ass for 3 days. He got this deal. We have it pretty much approved for at $800,000. We're going to try our luck to get it just under $800,000, just for shits and giggles, because we want to be able to land at $800,000 just to make sure the deal's done properly. He pulls $100,000 at closing if this thing goes through. There's $900,000 in non-recourse financing, which means he doesn't even have to be approved for it because it's basically financed on the property, not on Harry. He gets paid $100,000 to close the freaking deal. Boom! And he makes $63,000 a year. Plus, there's a property behind it that we can still work on. Why am I the only one that's excited here? I don't know why I'm the only one I don't know why you guys are not even a little bit. No, you guys are dead. I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
And again, yeah, I mean, if you can keep it for 10 or 20, 15 years, whatever the case may be, then I think you can make it worthwhile. But we just, the unknowns were out there for us.
Yeah, we keep them for as long as we can. Now, how excited do I sound? Because I already know this. Like, I already know this is going on in my head because obviously I've been doing this a while. So I'm not going to say what Jerry just said, but that was pretty funny. All right. So, do I set normal tone? Exactly right. I'm not excited. Why do I not sound excited? Because I don't want to be excited. I'll be excited to you guys. I'll be excited to my buddies, my friends, my fellow mentees. Harry, high five, Harry, high five, well done. I'm excited for him, but there's no way that I'm going to get excited with a seller there because it's not it's not something that's going to be good for the deal. So it's important to understand what you're looking at. Appreciate it until we die, and basically that's it. And turn 31 and more can. If it turns out to be an asset we don't like anymore, but generally if it makes money, we like it. So
yeah, no, like I said, this one is, I can attest to this because I've been involved since day one when we bought it with 8 occupants, and once it hit 95% occupancy, it had to go below that. I mean, the demand is there for that place, and our rents have increased. We're actually just scheduled with the manager to work on some more increases. In the P&L that you see, there was some loss due to collection that was higher than typical. That was based on some manager changes we had. We had a lady that was with us for a couple of years and property just hummed and sung the whole time. And when she took, she actually retired, and we had to fill her void, and which we were able to do, and you'll see substantial savings based on the new manager living on site and taking lesser pay. We feel like we're back on even ground, and as far as the operation goes, she's been in there for about 5 or 6 months now.
Okay. Can you send me info on the other one too? Because all right. So manager's there, living on site. Everything seems okay. Things are starting to look up. Now I'm going to obviously go into the second one. So check out what I'm going to say next. You both at the same time. I'll be fine.
Well, I don't think I'm ready for that quick of a deal on the other one. But I will get you some information on it where you can start.
We can postpone it. Yeah, if you wanna, we can put some. If we can agree on the numbers, we can actually defer that sale until whenever. I probably you don't want the capital gains, but we can work it out.
Yeah, no, and okay. I've got that one with a different group. This is the only one I have. But let me get you some info. I don't have anything together on it, but I'll email the accountant and ask him to put the QuickBooks into.
Now, who's going after that other property, by the way? Who's going after that other property that's behind this one that he's a partner on? Nobody. Exactly right. And those are the best deals. David Rosenbaum, he basically got an 11 unit that was basically completely off market. That thing makes I believe it makes about 45 to 50K a year net. 45 to 50K a year net. We offered $70,000, and they countered back at 80, I believe. Is that right? Am I full of shit, or I think it's a little bit more? And they added a home to the deal as well. So was it 80 that they countered at, or is it 90 to 100? I can't remember, but it's basically it got accepted. It got accepted. No, it didn't get accepted at 78, Graham. Things changed. 90 to 100, yeah. So we're gonna try to get in around 80. But shit, man, it's the thing makes 50K a year. Is it worth buying for 90 or 100? Let me ask you guys. It's that's that. So Jim is asking, why is he pretending to be an agent? Maybe he is an agent, but he owns the property. There's nothing wrong with being an agent and being a principal as well. Where he's not trying to be, he's not trying to be sneaky. He's just asking us if we have any agent fees. So he might be an agent that's a partner in the deal. So it is what it is. And ultimately, guys, with the deal that I'm talking about with David, is it's a 50 cap if we bought it at 100,000, or a 45 cap if we buy it at more than 100,000. But the thing makes 50,000 a year. If it made $40,000 a year, it'd still be a great deal, or $30,000 a year, it'd still be a great deal at 100K. It's a 30% return. It's just stupid. And that deal is off market. Nobody knows about it. It's by doing it a specific way, creating relationships, which we just beat the shit out of during Success Reflex. The focus was how to build relationships, say the right things at the very beginning of the conversation, build enough trust for them to open up Pandora's box and say, here's everything else I have, here you go.
Format similar to what you got on Lambert and see what you guys want to do with that.
Sounds good. All right, man. I'll
thank you.
Send that over. Thanks. See ya.
Thanks.
All right, and that was that. So, pretty great call. And I got pretty excited because not only is this a great deal, it's a 15 cap, which is not the greatest cap rate in the world, but it's basically getting paid $100,000 to buy it, which is on non-recourse financing that's already basically put in place. They already have a commitment. All we have to do is step into that commitment, and we're off to the races. And we're buying this thing for, I'm hoping, under 800 or around 800. I'll even buy it for 850. I'm happy to buy it for 850 if we can step into that non-recourse financing and get paid $50,000 at closing. I don't care. But that's the whole point is it's creating those relationships to be able to, get to the deals that nobody else knows about. Everyone wants to know how to find these great deals. Well, they're all there if you know how to ask. They're all there if you know what questions to ask. And if you got to send out more than 1 or 2 emails. These guys, were literally, anyone that's attended Success Reflex knows I put you on the phones for hours. You're making calls, you're sending emails, you're doing the shit that needs to get done. It doesn't stop. It can't do it with 1 email or 2 emails. It's a commitment. And if you make that commitment, it's going to pay off handsome dividends. So if this works out, and we don't know yet, if this works out, Harry will be paid $100,000 for this weekend. That'll be his payday plus $63,000 a year for the rest of his life, which is a pretty damn good deal. So I'm pretty excited for Harry. I hope Harry's excited for Harry. Yeah, David, you got to slow down. You got too many deals cooking, which is hilarious because he had nothing coming in. Nobody had anything coming in. And David, I don't know how many deals you're working on right now, but you sent me a spreadsheet of 6 or 7 that are, pretty heavy. So, love you too, man. All right, so that's that deal. Now, I have another deal, which is a sub 2 deal, which is not even close to as exciting as the last one that we just did, but I think it warrants being talked about. It's a subject 2 deal, taking over debt and dealing with the problems that arise in this. Now, in Harry's case, in this case, we have to get financing, which is already there. In this case, there's already financing there, which is the mortgage that we're going to just be taking over. Now, in her case, there's an assumable debt already. So we're just basically going to step in, take over her debt, and she bails. And she wants $3,000 over her debt. That's it. But there's this agent that's in the way that wants $3,800. So we're sort of in a shooting / pissing match over how to take care of the agent, even though the agent hasn't done anything. Even though the agent actually hasn't been involved at all in the communication, even though the agent hasn't really done shit diddly squat, the seller wants to take care of the agent because it's a personal friend. So it's one of these interesting deals where we have to do what's best for the seller, even though the agent really hasn't done anything to deserve it. But listen to the call. Now, this is Vicky's call. And her name?
Pam.
You talk to her first.
Hello?
Hi, Pam. This is Vic speaking.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, we're buried under ice here in Midland.
Oh, nice.
I mean bad. The worst I've seen in years. You can walk to your car. You can skate down the driveway.
Gotta be safe.
Bad.
Gotta be safe. Especially with the knee surgery, right? You don't want to...
Oh, my gosh. You know it. I feel like I'm a 100-year-old lady, but I'm definitely not going to walk outside today.
Yeah. Try not to. So I talked to Michelle yesterday, and now I have my partner Marco on the phone. And Marco, he's a little bit, more expert on me with stuff like this. So I'll let you talk to him, and we'll see
Okay.
what we can.
Hey Pam, how are you?
Very good. Hello, I'm good.
Good, good. So you have an ice storm.
Terrible ice storm.
I'm originally from Montreal, and I don't know if you remember the ice storm. We had no power for 2 weeks. There was poles.
Oh yeah, I
all over
remember
the
that.
place. That was terrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually when I moved down to Florida. So it's like, screw this.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
done with the winter. I moved down to Florida. It's terrible.
Well, that's kind of how we're feeling. We have one child in LA, and we have the other child in Nevada,
Wow.
and 3 houses here. So we need to lighten our load and possibly go spend some time in nice warm weather
That sounds
in
like
the winter time instead of doing what we're doing.
That sounds like a great plan. I can't. I like to
Yeah.
visit the winter, but definitely not live in it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, visit. Yes, the tourism. So I understand
Yep.
that you and Vic were, I guess, communicating. Now, is this a rental home that you have, or this is a
No,
this is your
so
home?
this is our year-round home.
Gotcha,
It's our
gotcha.
year-round home. We live here full time.
Uh-huh.
It's 4 bedroom, 2 bath. I don't know if you guys looked at the listing, or if, I know you guys do a lot of houses or a lot of commercial properties, but yeah, I have it listed both on Zillow and Craigslist and for sale by owner. I have not worked really hard at selling it because we weren't sure quite what we were going to do. My husband works for Dow Corning, and he has recently okayed to take the buyout from Dow Corning because they merged with DuPont.
Uh-huh.
So we were kind of just sitting tight. We went through the whole entire house and made sure everything was done. Outside painted, inside painted. So this house is key indoor. There's nothing to do. Floors are refinished. And, with no kids, no animals, no nothing. We're living in it, and it's immaculate. So it was just before Christmas, really before I put it on the market, before Thanksgiving. So I have had some showings, and I've had one offer that was not very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And I had three showings set up for this week, which I put all on hold because we've obviously been talking to you guys. So that's where I'm at. I needed to walk away with a certain amount of money because of what I put into this house, and we've been here 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, who actually I think spoke with, is it Vic?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday.
So Michelle is a real estate agent that spoke with Vic very briefly, I believe.
To Michelle's house, and we weren't sure we wanted to buy another house because we had just sold a house on the lake here. So we rented this house that we live in for a year before we purchased it. So we've been here over 3 years.
Gotcha.
And they lived in it 27 years.
Wow.
So the house needed some stuff. So we put in new appliances and new furnace and newer roof. Had the hardwood floors refinished. It has a fireplace. It has a big family room in the lower level. Everything downstairs is finished. I consider the laundry room pretty well finished because it is drywalled. The downstairs, of course, is the whole all open. There's only one wall dividing it, so we had a fireplace down there, electric, and all of our family room furniture and a wet bar, and was kind of the rec room for the kids. We had the deck redone this fall. That's basically everything. I mean, there's really nothing to do to the house. It's got central air. We've been very comfortable here. We're right in town. We have all of our neighbors have built-in pools. We live across the street from a physician here in town, a physician that does heart. He's a heart specialist. And then we have nurses on either side, which are both great names.
So if you have a heart attack, you're in good hands. You're surrounded by
We're
safety.
covered, man. We are covered. We're cool. But we've loved living in town. Before that, we had a 2-acre parcel on the lake, and did a lot of upkeep.
Yeah, it's rough having land.
My son went to school. Yeah, my son went to school at Northwood. He went to Dow High and then went to Northwood for 2 years, and now he's finishing his degree at UNLV in Las Vegas. So really, there's no reason. That's why we put the house on the market. Not for any other reason than that we just don't need another house. We have 3 here, a cottage, a 3-bedroom home that we will.
So what question am I going to ask if she has 3 houses? She just told me she had 3 houses. What question am I going to ask? Are they for sale is the correct answer. Can I buy them all? That's, if they now, we already know, so just so you guys know, there's already a debt on this property that she's agreed to let us assume with $3,000 out of pocket, basically giving her $3,000, taking over the debt, and that's it. The property is worth in the twos. I believe it's worth about 200,000, and she owes 125,000. I could be mistaken on that. So Vicky, if I'm wrong on my numbers, correct me. I don't remember all the deals, so I don't want to make it better than what it is. But I think it's worth, around 200,000, and she owes, I think, 140 something. So I don't know if that's accurate or not. Vicky, correct me if I'm wrong.
Sorry to interrupt you. Are you selling the others too, or are you just selling this one?
No, we're just this one. We're going to live in the 3-bedroom home that we have that's a little bit north of us here, and then probably eventually sell the cottage. But right now, it's kind of, when you have a family, it's kind of nice to have the house and the cottage down the road. The kids can all go stay at the cottage and whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's the game plan, is to get rid of the bigger house and keep the 2 smaller houses.
I understand. Now,
So
I think, and I believe that Vic had told you about us just taking over the debt.
All right, so the first 6 minutes is basically me just reiterating what she had already talked to Vic about, and now I'm going to go into the details of us taking over her debt and the cash that she gets at closing.
And then giving you some cash to walk away and us paying the closing costs. Right. Now, I think I'm trying to figure out, I'm scratching my head because we've done this many, many times. And the other young lady that, Vic, what is her name? I'm sorry. Michelle was suggesting that it's quite high. And I think she's trying to get a fee or some kind of something out of it. And I'm just wondering if that is something that you guys have arranged, or she's just trying to get some fees off of us.
Yep, I've known her for years. I've known her for years, and I have agreed on a set price that I'm going to pay her. I did not list with the real estate, and I'm not paying an interest of the real estate, but I am paying her a fee to handle the paperwork.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I don't know if she went over the numbers with you, but I had the house listed for 164, and then Vic and I talked, and I said I could come down to 160, but my payoff is 145,701. So I still need to walk away from the house with a certain amount of money.
So 145 is her payoff. Forgive me. It's worth around 200, just under 200, if I'm not mistaken. Again, Vic, let me know what that number is. I don't have the exact address on this recording. And we're paying her $3,000 to walk. I like the number 300 because as on a lease option, if the property is worth 200, the minimum we're going to get is a 5%, which is about 10. So if we're getting $10,000 from our end buyer on a lease option, we give her 3, we still have $7,000. We're basically being paid $7,000 to take over the debt on her property. So she could actually stay in the property, show the property to a lease option buyer, have her move out, for example, on the 1st of March, and have the tenant buyer move in on the 15th of March. So we have 2 weeks for her to move out, us to clean it up, and still make the money. So she could actually stay there, close on whatever date in the future, us get $10,000 down, and then her get the money when she moves out, and then we own the property. So it's a great, it's a great opportunity for us to basically again get paid to buy a property. So this business is based on knowledge and specified knowledge to be able to make you money basically out of thin air. If you didn't know what to do in Harry's last deal, like he's working on this is his third deal. He got 2 tax deeds. I don't know if you've been following the seller calls for a while, but he got 2 tax deeds in Mobile, Alabama. One's on a 4-plex, the other one's on a property for an airport property. That actually we're going to get our money back because they had no cause to do a tax deed sale, so we'll get 100% refunded for that. And he'll get a quadplex literally for $3,500, which is great, which cash flows like crazy. For $3,500, we basically bought the property. His second deal that he's closing on anytime this week is a storage unit facility. That is a cash cow. Storage units make a ton of money. And this deal from Success Reflex that he attended, he'll be paid $100,000 and $63,000 a year if it goes through. And I love being paid to buy property. And this is exactly the same instance where If you know the strategies and you know exactly what to do, you don't need money out of pocket to do business. You actually can get paid to do the business, but you need knowledge in order to do that. And of course, that knowledge isn't cheap to get. You have to obviously pay for that knowledge, which is what many of you have opted to do, learn how to do this. But it pays you back very, very quickly because we're dealing with huge numbers.
That's when he came across and said that, maybe we could play a little bit with the closing costs, right, and give us some extra funds.
Do you know what fee that she's looking for? So because we have a title agent that we use in town, and it's not more than $500 for us, plus whatever fee she has. So I just want to know what we expect to. I don't know what she's, because we have to use a certain kind of paperwork, or we just can't do it. So
I don't know how assumable works, and I apologize. I'm not quite up on all that assumable stuff, but I just know our mortgage is a favorable mortgage because it's assumable at 4%, which was a good rate.
That's great.
And then my plan was to pay her upfront automatically before any of this, so we don't have to take her fee to the bargaining table.
Right. So do you know what that is, so we can take care of her?
Well, I would be taking care of her because it's something that, because she's a friend and I've known her for years, that
Gotcha.
I promised that I would pay her that amount, and that's set in stone that I'm going to do that for her.
I understand. Okay, so is that included in the money that we're giving you then, or is?
Well, yes. When I did the math, I actually took out my assumable taxes, and I took out. I was responsible for her debt, assumable taxes, and then I was shocked to hear how much the closing costs were going to be.
Yeah, it's very high because ours is $500 if we do it. It's $500. If she does it, it's $3,800. So it's quite a difference.
Why is that? Why is that?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Is it different from different state? Because are you in Florida?
We're in Florida and Nevada. We're in both. But it's still the taxes for that specific state. So it's whatever the state is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter where we are. It's where the house is.
Yeah, because that's ridiculous. And that's exactly what my son said out in Nevada. He said there's no state tax, but there is, of course, here in Michigan, and it's just so high.
Right.
So by the time I pay her and I pay my prorated taxes, and then I pay this high interest, whatever, selling closing costs, I'm barely squeaking by with the amount that I had hoped to walk away with.
Right.
So,
well, I'm hoping that we can get away from the $3,800 is what I'm saying. And if, like I said, if we use our title company, it's only $500. So, and I just,
can you do that for me?
Yes,
Marco. Can you find out if they can do that, and we can omit this high closing cost here in Michigan?
Yes. And
then we can really sit down at the table and really belly up to the bar and get this handled, because I felt that was really high also.
Yeah. Can you do the reverse math? I just want to make sure you're taken care of, because my concern is really getting you what you need to make you happy and make this deal doable at the same time for us.
So if you listen to my language pattern, it's really about the seller. A lot of you, when you're negotiating subject to deals or taking over debt or creative financing deals, because ultimately this is all she wants is $3,000 at this point. So she wants $3,000, and all I'm saying is, we'll take over the debt, and I want to make sure you're taken care of. I want to make sure you're taken care of. I want to make sure that you have what you need. I want to make sure that you're okay. All we're doing is taking over her debt. It's a free mortgage for $143,000, and if we sell this thing for $200 over the next 3 years, minus $143,000 is $57,000, minus the $3,000 that we put in is $54,000. We're basically paying $3,000 to make $57,000. It's a huge return on our investment, and we'll make some monthly cash flow because she has a mortgage, which is a fairly low interest payment. I don't know what it is offhand, but whatever her monthly payment is, we'll be able to rent it out for much. We're going to make a positive income. 100%, we're obviously not going to do the deal for only $3,000 out of pocket. So would you pay $3,000 to make $54,000 and get paid $7,000 the day that you closed? So would you get paid? Are you okay with getting paid $7,000 to make a monthly cash flow and to make $50,000 when the thing closes? Would you be okay with that, or is that a terrible idea? Okay, good. You guys are awake. Every day of the week, absolutely. It's a no-brainer. It's, you have to be slightly retarded not to do this deal. So ultimately, and she's followed up numerous times. She's excited for us to take over her debt. She wants to move on. She's living in the property. She only wants a small amount of cash. Shit, even if I had to pay her $10,000, would it be worth it to make $50,000? Would it be worth paying her 10, making a cash flow every single month, and still, even if you didn't make a nickel, just paid her 10 to walk away and made $50,000 over the next 3 years? Would that be worth it? Fuck yeah, it would. Of course it would. Exactly. But we're only going to have to come to 3. So listen, she's not asking for 10. And even if she did, could we negotiate her down less? She only wants 3. That's all she asked for. And she's going to have to take care of her friend. So ultimately, even if the deal were to change, and I'm only saying this to iterate that you have to look at how are we helping the person on the other end? How is there a profit in there for us over some time? And are we risking a lot? And the debt's already there. She's already made mortgage payments for the last 10 years or so, meaning that we're into the amortization schedule where we're paying mostly principal, meaning that now the equity is going down nicely. Thank you very much. Meaning that we're going to make more money anyway when we sell the property because the amortization schedule is much better than when she walked into it when she first got the deal. So the whole theme of this seller call has been, how do we get paid immediately doing deals? And there it is. We did a commercial deal that gives us, if it all works out, it hasn't closed yet. For those of you that are sticklers for clarity, it hasn't closed yet. Harry just got this at Success Reflex, but with a non-recourse loan already approved for $900,000, it's about $100,000 in his pocket, because that's all we need to do is put ourselves into that position and be okay with a 10-year prepayment penalty, meaning that he can't sell this for the next 10 years. That excites me. I don't know if it excites any of you guys, but that means it's guaranteed cash flow for the next 10 years. They've already done the capital improvements. They've already changed all the air conditioners. They've changed all the roofs. They've changed the management. They've changed everything. It's basically ready to go. There's a problem with the internal partnership, and that's why they want to bail. And we step in at the right place at the right time, and we pick up the property, and that's the thing. And Harry did not have this deal walking into Success Reflex, and this is why. And I hate sounding like a commercial for it, but I'm super stoked by it, because I see people like Harry that are they've done a deal or two over a year and a half to 2 years, and then you walk in and then you get a deal. Vicky is working on a hotel with a $200,000 or $250,000 NOI. That he's picking up for $800,000 for $200,000. It's like literally a 25 cap. It's insane. Who else was on the call that was there? Shams, you're coming back to the next one. Who else? Reggie is dealing with also some heavy cap rate. I think 10 or 15, over 20 caps on his. Frank, Linda, you guys are. I think you just got. Let me unmute Frank and Linda real quick. I don't know if this is Frank or Linda. Frank, Linda.
Hi.
Hi. Did you guys are you doing the Perry deal now? Are you moving forward?
Yes, actually, we are.
Fantastic. And what's the return on that one? What's your cap on that one? Do you remember?
Hold on. I know Frank sorry.
Okay.
Let me pull that up. I didn't see the details on it, but I saw an email going back and forth today.
Yeah. So it's okay, but I think it's a 20 cap as well. You got that one in Success Reflex.
Frank's here. He's entering the room.
Sorry, I stepped up.
Hey, Frank. How dare you leave during my stuff? Hey, buddy. Congrats on that.
I have to go to the walkthrough, man.
What's your cap rate on that one? Because that one fell apart and came to life back today, I think.
I did. It fell apart a few times. Right now, I think it generates 7,400 monthly. So 74 times. It was around the 40,000 NOI.
40,000 NOI.
Over 40,000.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but there's 8 units there that he claims 4 of them are rent ready, 4 of them need some work. So just say all 8 needs a little bit of work. So once we get those existing 8 up, even at $500 a pop or $600 a pop, that's
yeah, be up to 2,000. Be another 20, about 20,000. You'll be up to 60,000. Right now it's a 13 cap, 13 and a half cap, and you'll have it at I think we calculated the cap out's at 22 cap or something on this one.
It was north of 20, yes,
Yeah,
with those 8 units.
which is good. Yeah. And you stuck to it. I just wanted to give you a kudos. Congratulations. So, you know, for those of you that have attended Success Reflex, high five. Very proud of you. For those wanting to, guys, hit me up, email me, kembotrust@gmail.com, kembotrust@gmail.com. Listen, it's an experience that you won't regret. You will be you'll be ridden like a rented mule, but you'll walk out with some skills and some knowledge that you never thought you could have, and actual deals in hand that you're working with. It's not bullshit. It's a real thing, and it's getting it's a lot of fun. So if you guys want to really have a lot of fun and learn a lot, attend it. If you just want to watch other people do it every week and drool while other people are getting paid to do deals, then just keep watching, and and one day maybe you'll get involved, and maybe one day you'll be able to quit your job. Maybe one day while everyone else is quitting their job, you'll be wondering why you haven't quit yours yet. But it's not about looking at people make it happen. It's making it happen for you, and I hope I can make that happen for you one day. So guys, thanks for being on the call today. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. Lots of fun. Talk soon, guys. We'll see you next week, same place, same time, and look forward to your success. Great success very soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye for now.